Okay, I think the devs have gone insane. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. So we've got the patch notes for, well, the mid-season patch, which is going to go live tomorrow. If you're watching this video today, it will go live on the 13th of March at 2 a.m. PDT. That's when this will go live. So we've got 3 heroes that are being changed. We've got Human Torch, definitely needs a buff, although I still think the team will be strong with Storm. But again, it depends on having Storm, and it depends on using 2 ultimates, and it depends on hitting the enemy team and all of that stuff. So yeah, he's definitely a lot weaker than I initially thought, and definitely does need a buff. That is probably the understatement of the century. However, Iron Man, he's not weak, and he's getting buffed, although it's a very interesting change this is. And then we've got a change to Cloak and Dagger, which is basically, well, buffing their direct healing at the cost of their slight AoE healing. But we'll break all of this down. So remember, this isn't actually live in this version of the game at the moment, but I can still explain what this is all about. So the first thing with Iron Man is this, right? And I don't think a lot of people are sort of familiar with this. So you've got 3 different states to your primary fire. So that's right, left, and then that's the third hit. Notice the third hit is bigger. It's a double attack with both hands. So right, left, and then big hit. So these changes are going to focus on the spell field. So the spell field is represented by the visual explosion here of the attack. So you do damage for a direct hit, and then you do damage for hitting people with the spell field. So what this manifests like is as such. So if I do a direct hit here, it's going to hit that bot. You can see it does quite a bit of damage. But if I do a splash damage, it's not as much. What's going to happen with the change is the splash damage will do more at the cost of the direct hit. However, the direct hit will still be the same because the direct hit takes into account the splash damage and the direct hit damage. So I think some people are saying there's going to be a nerf to Iron Man's skill here, whereas if you go for a direct hit in the new patch, remember this, he had no health. I did not kill him from full health there. He had no health. So people are saying, like, okay, they're nerfing the skill expression. That will still be the same, that damage there, in the patch which is going to hit tomorrow. But this damage will be more because you're doing more from the spell field splash. So what this is going to do is reward you for not hitting the target effectively. You see the third hit's got like a much bigger AoE effect. So again, just to show you this will do more damage from tomorrow. So this bot will be taking more damage here. So this is rewarding you for not actually landing direct hits. But if you still land a direct hit, you'll still do the same amount of damage. So the figures for this are, and the description basically reads as such. The Armored Avenger will see slight adjustments to his primary attack in both states, balancing his mid-range offensive capabilities. Decrease Repulsor Blast Stage 1 and 2 direct hit damage from 55 to 40. So that's this and that. That's only going to do 40 damage now on the direct. But remember, it's still going to do more because it adds on the spell field damage. Because obviously it's exploding on them, so they take the spell field hit as well. Increase spell field damage from 35 to 50. So you can see that where they've redistributed this. The spell field damage is going up by 15 damage. The direct hit is going down by 15 damage. But this is a net buff to Iron Man because it means this type of damage here is going to be more. It's going to do 15 more damage because you're not directly hitting the target. You get what I'm saying? Also, the direct... they're going to decrease stage 3 direct hit damage from 65 to 50. Again, it's still a 15 reduction in damage there, and increase spell field damage from 40 to 60. So it's actually a slightly bigger buff for the third hit. So remember, 1, 2, and then this. That's going to be a bigger hit now from the AoE damage. So this is, whatever way you look at this, it's a net buff for Iron Man. You're going to be able to do more splash damage at range with your primary fire, which is sort of, I guess, the main use of the primary fire. You know, you'll be using it at range like this because obviously your unibeam isn't going to reach, right? Now, obviously, the unibeam is just more damage. You're always using that. If you're close in, you're never going to be using primary fire with Iron Man. You're going to be using unibeam because the damage is crazy, right? Obviously, there's no splash damage with this, but, you know, it's a tracking exercise. You need to track the targets. You're always using this. It is going to be more damage. Now, of course, there is another change as well. When you're using your overdrive, obviously, everything does more damage, right? So on this, the Repulsor Blast, the direct hit damage has been decreased from 55 to 50, and they've increased the spell field damage from 55 to 65. So again, it's just all scaling up with that. But yeah, this is I don't know why they've done this, right? I think what's happening is they're probably looking at the stats a bit too much, and maybe that doesn't apply to Iron Man, because you would think if Iron Man was winning loads of games, you wouldn't really go for this. But what I'm trying to say is not winning game stats. It's more like they're looking at the abilities that are being used and going like, oh, well, Iron Man is using a lot of... most of his damage is coming from this. We want to change it up to this, and I don't know. This is his poke damage, though, from range. Everyone knows this with Iron Man, and it's just going to be more powerful. I mean, it still is. It's okay. I don't even think it needed changing. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below, but Iron Man is definitely getting stronger after this patch, and I think he's strong anyway this season, given the buffs he had at the start of Season 1.5. All right, let's move on to Human Torch. All right, let's take a look at the Human Torch changes. These are definitely needed. Now, I might have been on record saying I think this guy's going to be really strong this season, and he is with Storm, but without Storm, no, he's not. He's crap. He's just going to play Iron Man, which I think I might have alluded to anyway, and Iron Man's going to get even better now anyway, but whatever. So let's take a look at what they're doing to Human Torch, and I think this is definitely needed. So what we've got is a buff to the ultimate and a buff to the primary fire. So this is the primary fire. Now, what this does is it throws forward 12 projectiles at 120 meters per second, right? Which is what you're seeing here. Because remember, this isn't the patch build. We're not going to get that until tomorrow. But we can still go over what these changes are going to mean. So what they're going to do here is increase the projectile speed to 150 meters per second. So this is going to mean it's going to be a lot easier to hit targets at range, which is going to be good, right? Remember, this isn't that. This is 120, so they're going to move even faster. It also means you're going to be able to put damage quicker down at range because the projectiles are literally moving faster. The next thing he's going to get is instead of firing 12, this is going to fire 14. So it's going to do more damage. You've got more projectiles. It's moving faster. This is going to be great. Of course, this is going to... I mean, it is your primary damage source, but it's going to be even more so your primary damage source. And you're going to be more reliable with this, which I think is good and a much-needed change. Now, the other change is to his ultimate ability. Now, the ultimate has got... it's great when you've got Storm, but without Storm, everybody moves out of the way. Now, there are certain ways you can use the ultimate, like you can use it to dive down towards enemies and then activate the wave blast damage and then just start throwing tornadoes at people. Of course, the tornadoes don't move, so they're quite easy to dodge. Now, what they're doing here, the devs, is they're going to increase the... Well, basically, they're increasing the cost first, so it's getting more expensive. So instead of it being 3,400, it's now going to be 4,000 to charge. However... the activation wave damage, which is this, which does damage in a big area around Human Torch, is going to do 80 damage instead of 70. So that's a nice little buff there. Of course, what I mean by the sort of combo with this, again, it's sort of a bit of a suicidal combo. But, like, you can sort of dive in onto enemies like this. So if I'm going to dive down here and then pop this in the team, you know, that's going to give you quite a bit of AoE damage. It's going to do even more. Remember, this is only doing 70 damage at the moment. You're going to do 80. It's 10 extra damage. Now, of course, the other problem with the ultimate is the tornado damage, and they are changing that. They are buffing it. So what this is now going to do is 120 damage per second instead of 100. So this is going to do 100 damage per second. So I'm going to fire it in. That's doing 100 damage per second as damage over time. It's now going to do 102 damage. 120, I should say. Again, I can't show you it right here because this is the older build of the game. But what is noticeable about this ultimate, and I think a lot of you guys are... Well, you all know this. I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. But this is just incredibly easy to dodge. When this is getting thrown into an enemy team, no one walks through this. No one, like, it might, if it hits you, it does damage you, but you move out of it. It's very hard to get that effect of it's disrupting the enemy team. It isn't really that strong. Obviously, when the Storm and it sets Storm on fire and she's got a massive fire tornado, she's doing even more damage. Yeah, it is crazy. What do I think this is going to do to Human Torch? Is it going to really change the, I guess, the balance equation with this guy? Would it raise him in tier list, even though hilariously he's at the top in my early Season 1 tier list? I don't think it's going to be too impactful. Human Torch has got other issues as well, though, which I think we do kind of need to touch on. It's stuff like when you're throwing down your alternate fire and you've got it in certain positions like this, and I want to connect it, it doesn't connect. Like, it will not connect. I mean, this is an extreme example, right? This is obviously high ground, that's low ground. But even slight changes in terrain, it won't connect. Maybe I can simulate this around here. So if you're taking a fight somewhere like this, let's say we're chucking like that there and then throwing it here, watch it work now. Yeah, it works now. But sometimes it... Oh, I obviously can't activate it again. But sometimes it won't work. And slight little bits of terrain change can have a problem. Sometimes it doesn't appear to be applying damage correctly. So I don't know. So it's like he's got other little nagging sort of issues. But the fact of the matter is he's getting buffed, and I think this is a needed change, whereas the Iron Man one is a bit of a weird one. Okay, welcome to Cloak and Dagger, who gets a buff. Now, the Cloak and Dagger change is this. We'll read it off first, and I'll talk about what's going on. So, the devs say the duo will see improvements in their healing abilities, making them more versatile for various team compositions. Increase the healing effect from Light Force Dagger on hit allies from 10 to to 16. That is massive, right? Massive increase. You're going from 10 to 16. Remember here, this is just 10. You know, we're only healing the bot I'm hitting for 10 damage, right? It's going to be 16 soon. However, to offset this, reduce the spell field healing amount generated by the hit from 18 to 16. Now, let me just explain this, because this is like a giga buff for this hero. And the reason why I'm just spamming heals here into this Galacta bot is to kind of show this. So, remember, right now, we're doing 10 healing on this ally we're hitting, right? Obviously, we're healing really fast, whatever. We're doing 10 healing. The other bot, though, to the left is benefiting from our spell field AoE healing, right? This is the way Cloak and Dagger's heal works. You firing it into a target, but targets near to that target will also get a bit of healing. However, the amount of healing that bot is currently getting is 18, right? After the patch, that bot on the left, so this one here, is going to get 16. It's only 2 reduction. However, the bot I'm shooting is going to get 6 extra healing, right? And again, like I said, imagine how fast you're healing with Cloak and Dagger. This is crazy. This is like going to be really strong for Cloak and Dagger. And I'm just going to ban Cloak and Dagger, guys. If you at the level where you can ban ban Cloak and Dagger. But this is going to be really strong. And I think one of the issues players are going to have with this is, like, Cloak and Dagger's healing is obviously incredibly easy to hit because it's just auto-aim. You know, you don't really need to aim. You know, it'll just lock onto targets. It's super easy to get tons of healing. I'm not sure again about this one. I don't know whether this is something that actually needed changing. I don't think Cloak and Dagger had issues with healing output. I mean, Cloak and Dagger has loads of healing. I don't know. You guys have got to let me know about this in the comments below, because I think this is, again, a bit of a bonkers one. And what's interesting, it's almost like it sort of feels like we're going down that path. Like it feels like Rivals is speedrunning Overwatch, and I'm having like PTSD from it. It's like, oh, here we go. It's time to just make crazy balance changes because whatever. Let's just buff the healing like crazy on one of the heroes. Iron Man is the strongest hero right now, but one of them. Oh, yeah, you know what? Let's buff him. Now, the only saving grace here is potentially there's going to be, well, there obviously is going to be more changes at the end of the season. Now, the devs might have other changes that are going to fit into this sort of world of these changes to make them, I don't know, make a bit more sense, but I'm not sure. But I do think right now, yeah, a lot of heroes are just getting stronger. Human Torch, I agree with. He needs it. But Iron Man and Cloak and Dagger, I ain't sure about that. This is a bit of an insane patch. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then, yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel because it helps a ton. And, yeah, I'll be honest with myself. I've basically took 2 weeks off. I took a week off because I thought I need to get my mind back in the game. And then I just thought I'll have another week off. Why not? The life of a YouTuber, eh? Anyway, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then, yeah, let me know what you think about it. And I'll catch you, lovely lot, on the next one. See you soon.